Now, the European Union's 27 member states have today reached a deal on refugees and migrants. It concerns how to share caring for people during crisis situations and how to organise financial aid as well. To tell us what's been agreed, Armin Georgian, our Europe editor, is with us. So, Armin, just tell us about this deal.
Yeah, so it hasn't come out of nowhere. Obviously, negotiations have been going on for weeks. There's been a basic agreement in principle since the end of September, really. But what's happened is that the differences between Italy and Germany have narrowed, and that has paved the way for a compromise, which has today been approved at the level of EU ambassadors. So that means the permanent representatives of the EU member states who are based in Brussels. What that means is that negotiations can basically begin, perhaps not immediately, but with the European Parliament and the European Council. That was mentioned today by Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the European Commission. And all of this will be discussed at the informal meeting of heads of state and government in Granada in Spain in Friday. So it's very much a process rather than a specifically major breakthrough today, if you will.
And Armin, just remind us then what the proposed migration and asylum pact actually does.
I think we have to go back in a way to the big migrant crisis of 2015 to 16, which was a big trauma for European political elites. And that's really informed all of these discussions for the last 7 or 8 years. Back then, you might remember Angela Merkel, the German leader's, her famous phrase, "We can do it, wir schaffen das," we can take in a large influx of migrants, we can make this work. There's been a big shift since those times. No European leader talks about this issue the way Angela Merkel did back then, and certainly the German leadership doesn't take that kind of approach. Nowadays, we have very much a focus on other things like security. So, for example, how to simplify and speed up asylum-related procedures, how to hold migrants at the EU's external borders for up to 40 weeks in certain circumstances. To be fair, there's also been talk under this proposed asylum and migration pact, there's been talk of solidarity, helping frontline states like Italy and Greece. That there's been talk of, making sure there are legal routes for migrants into the EU so they don't attempt dangerous crossings. But ultimately, we're in a European election year, a campaign year, where security is very, very center stage, and European elites know that the migration issue is fuel for the various populist parties across the EU that are running in those EU elections next June.
Armin Georgian, our Europe editor. Thank you.